The day of my daughter Grace's wedding began like any other, but it would become the day that changed my life forever. 3 hours before the ceremony, I was in my room, carefully getting ready. My wine-colored dress was perfectly ironed, every wrinkle smoothed out as if perfection could shield me from the nerves twisting in my stomach. At 67, I still worried about making a good impression on Grace. I dabbed rose perfume on my wrists, mixing with the faint scent of coffee cooling on my bedside table. I had barely eaten breakfast. My nerves wouldn't allow it. Today was Grace's day, the most important day of her life, and I wanted to be perfect for her. I put on my mother's pearl earrings, the same ones I had worn the day she was born. Memories flooded me. Nights staying up to care for Grace during fevers, reading her stories until she fell asleep, working double shifts so she could attend the best university. I told myself, looking in the mirror, today she will see me. Today she will value me. The phone rang. It was my younger sister, Victoria. "How are you feeling? Ready for the big day?" she asked. "More than ready," I replied, tears threatening to spill. Today will be different, I thought. Grace will finally see me. I took the gift I had been saving for, a fine china set, each piece a silent apology, a symbol of all the sacrifices I had made. I had even sold my wedding ring to afford it. The taxi arrived promptly at 2 p.m., and as we drove to the church, I imagined Grace's smile, the hug we would share, the reconciliation I had longed for. The church was beautiful, white and pale pink flowers everywhere, exactly as Grace had dreamed. I arrived early, hoping to sit in the front row where she could see me. But as I approached the first pews, the wedding planner stopped me. "Excuse me, ma'am, those seats are reserved for the immediate family." "I am the mother of the bride," I said, proud and hopeful. He checked his list, frowned, and said, "I'm sorry, but it says here you're in the 5th row." My heart sank. 5th row? As if I were just another guest. As if I hadn't given my life for this child. I sat where I was told, surrounded by strangers, while Theodore's friends and Grace's colleagues filled the front. When Grace walked down the aisle in her white dress, radiant and smiling, my heart ached with love and hope. Surely, I thought, this is just a misunderstanding. Surely at the reception she would notice me. But the reception only deepened my despair. My assigned table was at the back, near the kitchen. Food arrived lukewarm. Guests around me were strangers. Grace barely noticed my presence, exchanging smiles and hugs with others while I remained invisible. Then came the speeches. Theodore spoke first, full of warmth and gratitude, talking about his new life with Grace. I clung to the hope that Grace would mention me next. She stood up, glass in hand, cheeks flushed with champagne. My heart raced. This is it. "I've learned that family isn't always the one who shares your blood," she began. My chest tightened. Here comes the recognition I've been waiting for. The real family are those who choose to be with you, who support you, who make you grow. My chosen family are the ones who make me happy. Applause. Cheers. Every word a rejection. And then she looked at me. "You can leave," she said. The hall fell silent. 200 eyes were on me. My hands trembled. My wine-colored dress suddenly felt like a ridiculous costume. I stood, ready to leave with as much dignity as I could muster. And then Theodore stood. As I started to walk toward the exit, my hands clutching the gift I had brought for Grace, a strong voice stopped me in my tracks. "Wait!" It was Theodore, her fiancé. He had that calm, authoritative tone that made people listen. The room hushed instantly. 200 eyes were now not just on me, but on him. "I don't care what anyone else thinks," he said, turning to the crowd. "She's my mother-in-law,
and she deserves respect. I froze, disbelief freezing every cell in my body. Theodore's gaze was steady, unwavering. He gestured for me to sit. The crowd murmured. Some whispered, others stared openly. Grace's eyes widened. My daughter, the girl I had raised, nurtured, and sacrificed everything for, looked shocked. I had never seen her like this before. Theodore continued, "You see, we can measure people by money, by appearances, by the seats they get at a wedding, but the truth is, the people who actually build our lives are often overlooked. This woman, my wife's mother, has done more for Grace than anyone else here. She has given love, care, and sacrifice that can never be repaid with gifts or applause." My heart pounded. Tears blurred my vision. No one had ever spoken like this about me in front of Grace. "And you," Theodore said, looking directly at Grace, "you need to understand that family is more than choice. Blood matters too. Respect matters too. You can't erase the person who made your life possible, even if you want to feel in control of the moment." The room was silent. Even the waiters stopped moving. Every eye was on us. Grace opened her mouth, then closed it. She looked down at her dress, then back at me. I could see the storm inside her. Guilt, confusion, shame, and something else. Something like recognition. She began, voice trembling. "I didn't mean—" The words faltered. The alcohol in her glass glinted in the light as she swallowed hard. The audience waited. My chest felt tight, but my spirit was lifting. I realized, finally, that maybe Theodore's intervention would change everything. He continued, softer this time, addressing Grace. "You have the chance to fix this, not with a speech, not with gifts, but with honesty. You can acknowledge the woman who gave you everything before the world, before anyone else, because she is your mother." At that moment, Grace's hands shook. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She stumbled toward me, reaching out. I rose slowly, heart pounding like a drum. Every step she took felt like a lifetime. I'm sorry, Mom," she whispered, voice cracking. I've been selfish. I didn't see it before. I didn't appreciate." She collapsed into my arms. 200 people watched as mother and daughter embraced, the tension of years unraveling in one moment. The room felt different, lighter, warmer, charged with emotion. But Theodore wasn't finished. He turned to the audience. "Let this be a lesson. Never underestimate the quiet sacrifices, the hidden love, the people standing behind the scenes. Sometimes the real heroes are invisible until someone finally speaks the truth." The crowd erupted in applause. Some wiped their eyes. Grace buried her face in my shoulder. I held her tight, feeling the years of distance, resentment, and misunderstanding dissolve. And then came the unexpected twist. My gift, the fine china set I had spent months preparing, slipped from my hands, crashing to the floor. The plates shattered into hundreds of pieces. For a moment, I panicked, but Grace laughed softly through tears. "It doesn't matter, Mom. Nothing you give me could ever break us or be more valuable than this moment. Nothing." That night, as the party continued, people came up to me with newfound respect. I realized that Theodore wasn't just saving my dignity. He was teaching Grace a life lesson about humility, gratitude, and love.
Years of feeling invisible, of being overlooked, of sitting quietly at the back. Suddenly, they didn't matter anymore. The humiliation that had seemed unbearable was replaced by a new understanding. Love and recognition sometimes arrive in the most unexpected ways. And for the first time in a long while, I felt seen, truly seen. As we danced together later that night, Grace whispered, "Thank you, Mom, for everything. I finally understand." And I smiled, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders, knowing that sometimes the heart has to break before it can heal. And sometimes the most unexpected people become the heroes of our story.